It's the Logan Power Show. Inspirational and motivational. It's the Logan Power Show. Informational to help you grow. Logan Power Show. And now the host, Calvin Logan.
Hey everybody, this is me, your host, Calvin Logan, the Logan Power Show, nationwide, worldwide. Well, I got with me a segment you want to listen to. As you see behind me, I'm elated, I'm excited. Behind me, you see me with smiling all day long, I'm smiling in front of you. Well, I got with me, she's the entrepreneur of Super Easy Math. She doesn't make life easier, she make it easier for you because you want to be easy, you want to be cool. She's the, like we say, she is dynamic. I call her the doctor of mathematics, the one and only Miss Tiffany White. How you doing?
I'm great, Calvin. Thank you for having me here today. I'm so excited to be here with you.
Absolutely glad to have you here. So tell us, how'd you get started with Super Easy Math?
Well, for about a decade, I was a math teacher. 8.5 years, I was a classroom teacher, and about 2 years or so, I was a substitute teacher going around from different schools, filling in when a teacher needed to be out, or maybe a teacher had a baby and I would stay long term. And I just kind of got better and better and better at teaching math, teaching it as the homeroom teacher, teaching it on the fly when I was a substitute teacher. And one day I remember thinking to myself, I should make some YouTube videos, because anytime I'm out and, you just run into a stranger at Walmart, anywhere, they say, hey, what do you do? That's just a normal part of conversation. And I say, I'm a math teacher. And almost always that follows up with, oh, we could have really used you for my nephew, John. He was really struggling in math last year. Or, man, my son really needed help. Or, my daughter was studying to be a nurse and she, was struggling with the entrance exam. And I heard that so much, I thought to myself, man, maybe one day I should make some YouTube videos showing people how to solve different problems. And to be honest, it was really a hit. It took off. Now I have just about 60,000 subscribers. It's been flowing ever since. Now we branch things out. I have tutors who tutor with me. We're all able to work online, which is very convenient right now. So we can tutor anywhere in the world. I've tutored people in other countries, United States, and it's just been a win. It's really been a great transition from the classroom to online.
Absolutely, and you can see that people have gravitated to you. That's why I got a chance to see your stuff and be able to say like, hey, I believe you could be a real impact. What are some things, I guess, that we need to do here in the United States to help build our kids to be more proficient in mathematics? Because the big two is English and math. Those are the big heavy hitters to where kids are either ahead or behind. So what are some things from your personal experience can you say that we need to work on to sort of help build our skills when it comes to mathematics?
Well, the quickest and most international, or anywhere you are really, method to improve, I would say, is practice. It's like when you see students all the time, I have to stop a student from dribbling a basketball when we're in class, or from playing that way. And they're like really good at basketball or really good at their sport. And it's like, man, I just don't get math, or I don't understand it. And I think, well, have you been practicing it in between time? Like in between time, you want to pick up your basketball and get some extra dribbles in. But what about in between time, you do some of your math homework, So I see a lot of students who, they kind of don't follow through on that area. When they go home, they don't do their homework. When they're at school, they don't really want to participate. But they say, oh, I can't do this. And I compare it to something like a sport that they enjoy. And I say, well, you really enjoy picking up the basketball and you've gotten pretty good at it, but you do it all the time. That's how you got good at it. So consistency in that practice, that's key.
Got it. Now, with your Super Easy Math platform, it's taken you away from actually being in the classroom and focus on your craft of your business and having full-time tutors, yourself teaching all across the globe. Do you miss being in the classroom?
Some days, but there's a lot of things that come along with teaching in person. And so it is really nice for me to be able to make Super Easy Math an ideal situation that I think best benefits students. When I'm in the classroom, I'm not in charge. So I have a principal and a superintendent over the school district who makes calls. And sometimes I may not agree with that, or although that call may be good as sort of a whole, which is, I guess, the best way to handle things, it may not be good for math. Like what you need to become proficient in reading isn't necessarily what you need to become proficient at math. So when people make a general call that may be best for the whole school or for the whole district, it's not necessarily what's best for this subject. So at Super Easy Math, I can really fine tune for math needs.
Exactly. Now, did you ever imagine yourself being where you are now when you first got started?
Well, I considered tutoring online, but I didn't really know how to do that. You know what I mean? I had just gone from brick and mortar being in a building. So in order to teach online, I didn't really know what technology equipment I would need. Like I hadn't even heard of Zoom. Now I did know about Skype. So I wondered if there was a way to do it, and I kind of looked into it. But when the pandemic hit and everybody just overnight knew what Zoom was, it just worked. So as far as the videos themselves, right now I have about 140 math videos of different skills. I didn't know how many I would end up making over time, but I definitely didn't know that I would hire tutors and have tutors. That's really new, and exciting.
Absolutely. So, you got a platform, you make things, it's very interactive, and you can tell that you have a passion for teaching and a love for people. And so, where does that come from? Because that's not everyone has those type of character traits. It's not easy to say, okay, well, I love what I do, and it shows. So, where does that stem from you?
Wow. I can remember helping my friends like in fourth grade with their math. I've always just kind of naturally been good at it, I guess you could say. So as far as the subject goes, math has always kind of come easily to me. Now, as far as realizing I wanted to be a teacher when I was younger, it just came from, that's kind of what I naturally gravitated to. I can remember being in college and just somebody had calculus and I would help them with it, or somebody was in Algebra 2 or college algebra and I would help them with it. I can remember back before I started Super Easy Math, putting like Craigslist posts out for tutoring, and I would tutor people at private schools, at their homes, and things like that. And it just kind of picked up. So it was just something I kind of have been doing ever since elementary school, honestly.
Absolutely,
Oh,
absolutely, absolutely. You're spot on with that. So, for what you created, the platform that you've put these different
mhm.
videos. Where if you go to Super Easy Math, go to your website, you have videos, the tutorials, which is free. You do offer tutoring at a cost. Hey, people want to get it, even group tutoring or
Mhm.
individually being tutored by you. Where do you see this? What's the overall goal? What do you want to achieve when it's all said and done?
Well, the number one thing is to help people with their math understanding, because I think a lot of people have really a true like phobia toward math. They're sort of uncomfortable with it. It was like something they never really mastered, maybe, or something that they never felt super confident in. And I have honestly more adults who reach out to me for tutoring even than students, because the adults say something like, I'm studying to become some type of into some type of profession and there's a placement exam, or I am interested in bettering my math skills because at my current job they always pull up graphs and charts and I don't really understand them. Those are my probably two top tutoring requests, and mostly from adults. And you're on mute.
So, I'm sorry. For a person who is watching us right now,
Mhm.
and they're looking for some help, I want to give you about a minute or two to reach out and tell them why they should choose you, because I know a lot of times math can be kind of tricky. It has its challenges, it has its weights that it could discourage you from getting back on things. So I want you to speak to those people and tell them why they should choose super easy math.
Definitely. Thank you. Well, the first thing I always say is you're not bad at math. You just don't have the environment conducive to becoming proficient at math. So it leads back to the basketball example. I'd say you can become good at anything you want to become good at if you give yourself the right conditions to become good at it. So if you haven't been doing so well in an area, we could probably look at your overall lifestyle. Are you practicing enough like you should? Are you going to class enough like you should? Let's examine some of those things. Let's also take a look at mindset. The very first session that we do when we go through, I have an adult math refresher course, which is scripted. Like I take you through 24 different skills. The very first lesson of that is mindset. And it helps us understand that it's more important and more beneficial to you to have a growth mindset opposed to a closed mindset. So these things are crucial. The amount of time you're putting into it, your mindset toward it, and how focused are you when you're doing it? Are you fully putting your attention to it, or is the TV on in the background so you're kind of distracted? I mean, a lot of times I find that the reason people aren't as good in an area, especially math, that they want to be is because they're not putting the right emphasis on the right things. They don't have the correct environment. At Super Easy Math, we try to pinpoint that and show you what you need to tweak in your environment to become proficient.
Absolutely. So you heard it first, live at the Logan Power Show. She's the professor. We call her the doctor in the house, Miss the CEO of Super Easy Math, Miss Tiffany White. We want to thank you for blessing us here, coming on coming onto our platform. We
Mhm.
pray heaven's best to you. For those who are
Thank you.
watching, take math serious. Math is universal. Hey, you understand that there's a plan for you, and God has a plan for everyone who's watching. Hey, this is all the time I got. My name is Calvin, the Logan Power Show, nationwide, worldwide. We love you, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you.
It's the Logan Power Show. Inspirational and motivational. It's the Logan Power Show. Informational to help you grow. Logan Power Show.